Hi YouTube friends! Today we're going to talk about the different cups that you can get for latte art and why it matters. Obviously you're going to have to learn the basic fundamentals of how to microfoam your milk and how to pour and all that, but that's not what this is about. This is really just about the cup itself. There's all sorts of cups out there. You can get, these typical kind of mugs, and then there's also these types of cups. And now what's the difference when it comes to latte art? Why choose one over the other? It's interesting. How the cup is going to affect how your latte art is going to appear and pour is going to vary on a couple of factors. So you have the shape of the cup, the volume of the cup, the height of the cup, the diameter of the top, and the sloping inside. All of these will affect your latte art and will affect your technique a little bit. If you're a really good barista, you could probably pull off good latte art in every single one. But there are certain things that you'll be able to do better than others. So you don't need to get necessarily a really expensive cup. You will notice that a lot of these brands will be on the pricier end for one cup individually. Even they'll span something like 13 bucks Canadian to like $26 Canadian for like one cup without the saucer. If you're looking for something a bit more budget friendly and that has a couple of cups so you can like throw them in your dishwasher, I'm going to link something down below that actually follows a lot of the geometry and dimensions of the ACME cup that I purchased. This is a 190 millimeter. It's their cappuccino cup. I didn't go with the 150, which is about 5 ounces. I much prefer this because my microfoam isn't always perfect. And also, I think I just prefer a little bit more milk in my cup than 5 ounces. I found that would have been a little bit more restrictive, and so far this has been working out really well for me. Maybe down the line I'll change my mind and change cups, but this is it for now. There's a couple of brands that you're gonna notice over and over when you start looking at latte art, and that is ACME, fellow Monty, the Kruve IMAGINE. Those are just to name a few. And the right cup matters, not for aesthetic reasons, although you can definitely purchase different ones for aesthetic reasons. But it's a question of proportions and science and like physics. This is not like wine, it has nothing to do with aroma. This is purely on making your job easier for latte art and why the right cup will facilitate that. To talk about this, I'm going to use this Bodum Pavina cup, which is an 8 ounce that I've been using for a while, a double-walled glass one. I'll link it down below. I was using this for quite a while, and I was able to do pretty good latte art with this, but there were a couple of things that were blocking me. I knew this in theory, but it was very different until I purchased this ACME cup, which is a 6.5 ounce, and it's smaller. I was able to do latte art with this. I was able to learn quite a bit with this. It didn't like hinder me that much, although when I got the ACME cup, pretty much the second day I got it, I made the nicest latte art I've ever made. For one, the volume. So you really got to get the right cup for the volume that you're getting. That's why cafes have so many cups. There's a reason for that. For milk, if you have a taller cup, but you're only filling it up maybe to here because you're going like for 6 ounces, let's say, or 6.5, then you're gonna have a little bit left at the top extra. And also notice that the cup is taller. So there's a couple of factors here playing against you. So when you're pouring your latte art, you're having to tilt so much more in order to get the spout closer to the surface of the cup. Whereas over here, I would have to tilt a lot less because it's a wider mouth and it's shorter. There's like two different things. Although the wider mouth, the wider diameter is actually more, I would say, for canvas. I would say the volume is the more important factor here. So figure out what volume you're going with in terms of the drink, not weight, volumes. That depends on your microphone, that depends on if you're doing a ristretto or an espresso or a lungo with your shots. All of that. So, pull a couple of shots, figure out what you're using, figure out what you like, and then figure out the volumes for it. And if you're not sure what the volumes are, see what's online, see what people suggest for the cups, the drinks that you like, and then adjust accordingly. You don't have to follow exactly what's online. Follow based on your taste. Look at the diameter of this. There's a couple of things with this. With the ACME cup, I'm able to get a bigger canvas to draw on, which means that I can stack a lot more. I can play with the shapes a lot more. Also don't have to tilt as aggressively like I mentioned earlier, but I also don't have to tilt as aggressively during the pour. It's a little bit of a micro adjustment versus like a significant like 45 degree down to that. It's like maybe like there's also another thing that was mentioned. This is on the Fellows website and they talk about a parabolic shape. So the products that I linked down below does have that. And it does have that here. Many people are pulling amazing latte art with the ACME cups. You'll notice the bottom, it's not like flat. There is a curve to it, but it flattens out at the base. It's not like a perfect parabolic curve, like I guess you could say somewhat like this, where you can see that curve going like that. Does that really make a difference and affect things? No. But the parabolic shape, the curve, if you will, versus having a cylinder like this does make a big difference. If you have a cup like this, it's gonna bounce around a lot and it's gonna like hit the walls and it's gonna be very aggressive in there. And it's just gonna agitate things way too much to do good latte art with. Not impossible. Once again, if you're really good, if you're really skilled at something, you can make anything work because you're boss ass. If you're not one of those people and if you wanna really maximize your latte art and do the best job possible and have the right tools possible, then I would opt for getting the right cup. If you're going for any of the big brand names, you're gonna have this. If you're going on Etsy, you're gonna have to do a little bit more research. But if you follow those things of the right volume, wide diameter, shorter, curved on the inside, you're good to go. You can have different materials. So this is a ceramic single-walled thick one. Then you have glass, like the Kruve. This is the Bodum Pavina. The Kruve Imagine latte cup is glass and double-walled. I think there's a better retention when it comes to glass versus ceramic, but very minimally. When I went from this to this, there was one big significant difference. And I think maybe it's twofold. My coffee does not stay warm very long in this. It's like room temp within minutes. Whereas this one, I could sip my coffee and enjoy it a little bit longer before it got to room temp. Now I believe there's two factors contributing to this. For one, this is a double-walled glass cup. And so that double wall, it's more of a thermos situation, whereas this is ceramic. So even though it is preheated on my double dual boiler, it's preheated for like 30 minutes before I pull my shot, it's not enough. It will get colder. Also, I think another factor for that is it's got a wider mouth, more surface area for the heat to escape. But I think the bigger factor is the double walled. So I do like this cup. I've kind of adjusted to just having slightly colder coffee or having to drink it a bit faster than I usually do. The fellow Monty has a double-walled ceramic, but it's a completely different shape. It's more modern, less of a classic looking cup. I'll leave a couple of links and information down below. They're not necessarily gonna be affiliates, but just so you know what's out there if you're a little lost and don't know where to start. When I went from the Bodum Pavina to the ACME, there's a little bit of adjustment that I had to do in terms of the angling, not significant. The weight is really nice. I had to learn to be a lot more careful when it came to spilling because I never had this full to the top. And this one I definitely had full to the top. And it made things a little bit difficult. Like there was definitely more spilling. So I didn't get a saucer because I just didn't see the use for that. But the saucer would be handy there. But the saucer is almost the same price as the cup when it comes to the ACMEs. I just didn't have a use for that. If you like stirring your coffee with a spoon or you like having little biscuits, or you just are spill prone, then a saucer would be a good option to consider. But otherwise, I don't know. I'm not into the saucer. Comment below, saucer, yay or nay for you. Oh, I also thought that it'd be weird to have a handle because I just didn't have a handle on my cup for a while. It's very comfortable. It doesn't have any issues. I can hold it like this, I can hold it like this. It doesn't get hot to the touch that I can't hold my cup and do my latte art in any way. It's actually very warm and comfortable to hold, especially on a cold Canadian winter morning. So did it make my latte art better? Yes. Overall, yes. Obviously, you still have to know how to microfoam. You still have to know how to like do the basics of latte art and the actual movement of it all. But I have been making way better latte art and kind of wish I got the cup sooner. I kind of wish I had gotten the right cup for the job sooner. Decided, all right, it's time to really up my game with latte art. It's the second year I have an espresso machine. My latte art, that's when I'm gonna really kick it in. But I'll show you the evolution of my latte art with my other cup. I've been able to make some pretty good stuff in there. And you can see that it evolved quite a bit, even with this cup. So you can still do really good latte art with that, but just, you know, having the right cup will obviously make the job a little bit easier. I would say it would allow you to go a little bit further, unless you're an actual barista and need to learn on a takeout cup that has more of this kind of a tapered shape. I hope that helps you a little bit on figuring out what to look for when buying a cup specifically for latte art. I don't think I forgot anything, but if I did, let me know some of your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Love to hear some of your tips. Let me know what your favorite cups are. Let me know how it changed the game for you when you went from one cup to another. If that was the case for you, comment all of that down below. Like this video if you found it entertaining, valuable, informative, helpful. feed that algorithm. Share it and subscribe. Click the bell notification so you can be alerted by my beautiful face on your YouTube when I make new videos. And I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye.